Nice. Okay.
Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of our Border Gavaskar series of streams.
Happy to be here. I see Khandal's stash game is going strong. Is he going to tell me that I bowled well?
Uh,
That's well bowled, Archit.
Good one. Boys, how are we
Nice.
feeling? Archit, we are having you back after a long time. Evenly poised, I must say. So, like, fair play to you. You sat out when India were on top, and then you did that again when Australia were on top. So, even
Yeah,
Steven.
it's fair game. Yeah. We're even Stevens in so many ways in the series here, I think, and with me not attending the podcast. But
Exactly.
exciting week. I think it's very hard to predict this series. Yeah, and
Yeah.
we'll come into
It is.
more of that later.
It is very hard to predict each session or a day. When people say it's sun-baked and it's going to be easy to bat, then there are like a couple of wickets and then it's, chaos. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had a very good episode last time out where we delve very deep into how the current generation does not have the patience and tenacity to sit through or stand through test cricket session after session. I think people should go check that out, especially for the Indian fans rant.
Yeah.
We didn't
It's
miss something.
sort of becoming a habit, isn't it? Indian fans ranting after an Adelaide test. So
But
All
that's
right,
what
where
we
do we
kind of
want to start?
expected.
I
We are
think we
going
are
to start.
Mm. And this is the
I think
first
we're going
time.
to start with the momentum that each team is carrying right now into the series. Uh,
Sure.
when looking at how the teams have actually unfolded, I think Australia as a unit has come together well. And Australia is no easy team when it comes to gaining momentum through the series, right? And they have the habit of winning the tournaments, which is very hard to accept. We've had history speaks for itself. So I'm just wondering how this Gabba test is going to look like for India right now.
There you go.
Um,
One of us had to bring it, and I'm glad you waited
yes.
nearly 3 minutes before you said the word
Yes.
Gabba.
The pitch looks green, boys. So what do we expect?
I think let's start with the low hanging fruit. Let's start with the team combos. So
Yeah.
I can go about India. I in my opinion, uh, Ashwin should sit out. He was fine in the last match, but I think more than Ashwin sitting out, it's important that Jadeja comes into the series. He was the highest wicket taker in the last series that India played. He has a 40 plus average with the bat in Australia and a low 20s average with the ball. That is better than most Indian bowlers and most Indian batters. So Jadeja for me is practically two players, at least one and a half players in Australia or anywhere in the world actually. So he should play every test anywhere for me. So Jadeja comes in, and the biggest question mark is the third seamer for India. Rest of the team picks itself. Most likely, from what the vibes that you get from the press conference, it's not going to be Harshit Rana. Uh, I'm guessing it'll be Akash Deep. Small chances for Prasid Krishna, but most likely it should be Akash Deep, who
Is
already
that
has some
fair?
experience.
I mean, like, we have one debutant in the series as well, right at the top, and the general consensus is we are going to give him a run of 5 games, right, for McSweeney. But Harshit Rana, it's 2 games and he hasn't impressed you enough to actually warrant a place in the side third time in a row.
I think he
I think we
gave
should
away too
take
many runs. Sorry, go for it, Varun.
Yeah, I think we should take advantage of the situations that we are actually thrown in right now. And Akashdeep is one bowler has actually demonstrated the fact that he can, swing the ball either ways. So I think he's going to get that extra pace from that pitch, and he's also going to try and see if he can bounce few balls as well. I think India should try most of the weapons they actually have. Why do you actually go in with a squad, right? So Harshit Rana did impress in the first test, but I think Akashdeep definitely earned that place in the 11. So he
Yeah,
should be going in.
I feel like India have that third bowler problem, right? So it's not a problem because India has a third bowler, of course, but the comparison of the third bowler with Australia's third bowler. So if you look at Mitch Stark, of course he's good at what he does, and then you have Josh Hazelwood, and then you have Pat Cummins. Even if you take Mitch Stark as the third bowler, you're pairing Mitch Stark with Harshit Rana or an Akash.
Yeah.
Are you sure you wanna tread that
You're
line?
comparing mutton biryani with kathal biryani with due respect.
Yeah.
No,
So
my bigger
I think
concern is you coming back with say Jadeja.
yeah. So I think
Travis
it's
said is our Jadeja.
it's that weaker link in India's bowling lineup. Of course, Siraj is actually bowling with all his heart. I mean, people are really singing praises of Bumrah, but I think Siraj deserves his own. He has been
Yes.
bowling really well and deserved a couple of wickets more, at least in each of the innings that he actually bowled. So the third bowler is where actually, and then you have Nitish Reddy and others chipping in with a few overs here and there. That's not going to really cut it in terms of taking 20 wickets in a test match, right? Or at least taking 20 wickets in time in a test match before leaking away 300 plus runs.
Yeah. And I think for a fair bit, Australia played Harshit Rana really well in both the tests actually, and I feel like he might be Akashdeep. There is a little bit of suspense over there of how the ball would behave and all that. I think they should take advantage of the fact that he's new to the Australian conditions and probably try and see if that actually works for India and for the rest of the series. It also gives the opportunity for another bowler. Yeah, so I think Akashdeep definitely deserved that place in the 11.
And
I'd
with
not be surprised.
Akashdeep, even if he's not lethal with in terms of taking wickets, I think he'll go for less runs than Harshit Rana for sure. Harshit Rana has
Yeah,
been leaking a lot of runs, and we can't afford that, especially in low-scoring matches which end in 3 days.
rightly so.
Rohan,
Yeah, I agree with that.
Kohli, I presume they're still gonna make it. It's too
Uh,
soon.
Kohli,
yeah,
I mean,
Archit
yeah,
Kohli and Rohit,
Kohli
are they
is.
both playing?
Rohit's playing. He's the captain. In an ideal world, I would like Bumrah to be the captain, but to be
Yeah,
pragmatic, Kohli and Rohit both will play. So I don't want to discuss that today.
No
At least,
point.
yeah. I mean,
Well, you did give
Kohli is doing just enough. Whenever he is close to making a case for himself getting dropped, he scores like 100 on a flat track, which he did, which he did. I think even in the last test, in the last Border Gavaskar Trophy.
right.
So
I think with
yeah,
Australia, it's pretty straightforward. Boland
is
out.
it? Is it though? I have a tough one for you. I mean, Nathan Lyon did not get to ball. Like he bowled one over, and Hazelwood, if he's fit, should he come in instead of Lyon with Boland bowling and bowling as well and troubling the Indian batters as well? So 4 seamers and one injured Mitch
Yeah,
Marsh.
brain would say yes, but heart would say no because, firstly, I don't think Nathan Lyon even got a chance to bowl. It's like
yeah,
the matches are finishing off in 2 days and a half.
True.
And while it's still spicy, not ready to turn a bit. I mean, this is probably one of the first times where in both the test matches, Mitch Stark's famed footmarks weren't even there for Nathan Lyon to bowl into. So, and I think apart from Mitch Stark, the best partnership that Nathan Lyon has had is with his footmarks and outside the off. Uh, but he has a good track
Yeah.
record at Gabba, just like the other pacey pitch in Perth. And at the Gabba, guess who else has a good track record in terms of spin bowling? Shane Warne. So I think definitely going to come in
He didn't
into.
really give us a chance to guess. I was totally gonna say.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be I actually think slightly differently. This is going to be a 4.5 or a 5 day test match, and I would ideally want Australia to bowl first on this. It is going to get slightly easier to bat on day 2, 3, and a little bit of day 4 as well. and we have seen really high scores in these in the second innings of teams, and it can be easier chasing as well. I mean, it's not going to be tough. I mean, we saw last time when India won here, right? Of course, it was a cliffhanger of sorts because of all the drama that actually led up to that match. But I think knowing Gabba, first day it's going to be spicy. You could have something like a Peter Siddle birthday hat trick. You could have a lot of balls coming in, going out, and people nicking
Just
it
to
off.
clarify from an Australian, right? Not Bumrah. When you say
Thankfully, Bumrah's birthday just
birthday,
got
just
over,
yeah.
right? Yeah. So I don't think Australia. We are going to see any changes in terms of bowling.
Yeah.
Of course, Boland goes out. Hazelwood, if he's fit, he comes in.
He is fit. He is fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely coming in. And see, you can't just drop
It's
somebody
almost
like
like he texted Chris, said, I'm fit. And Chris is so sure.
no, the news is out.
Yeah, actually, Hazelwood definitely gets the. He needs the bowling lineup for Australia, so I think he definitely replaces Boland over there. That's pretty much a no-brainer for Australia, right? So yeah,
Is
to
there
Nathan
a
Lyon.
chance for Sam Constance to come into the series someday because he smashed the Indian bowlers?
Yeah, I don't think it's happening mid-series. If Australia is going to, unless it's going to be a really bad total, he gets a pair in every test match. I don't think Nathan McSweeney, they're going to really be harsh on him. One, they have actually, made him debut in a series like this. It's
Also, I think Archit's question was directed towards Steve Smith more than McSweeney, considering.
No, it was. I mean, I don't know actually. Yeah, I don't think they'll drop Steve Smith. The Australian management is too conservative to drop Steve Smith.
Steve Smith.
Yeah.
What else?
So
Okay,
Sydney Sweeney stays hot.
Yeah, just one more question for the guys on the blue side. What's going to be India's batting order? Are they going to make Rohit open, or are they going to go with the same settled KL Rahul and Yashasvi?
I think it's a settled opening order. Let's not touch the settled opening order.
It's
Please.
baffling to me. It's like the Steve Smith opening.
It is baffling.
What is Rohit Sharma doing at number 6 in 2024?
I think it's a smart decision. It hasn't come off yet. Smart decision from two perspectives. From at least the individual perspective of Rohit, it gets easier to bat on Australian pitches later as the ball gets off. The batters get tired. You've seen Rishabh Pant banking on that in the last series. So maybe Rohit's thinking he can do a punt, and he's thinking maybe Rahul has a better defense than him and can just see off the new ball. That's my guess. So that's from a team perspective that Rahul can see off the new ball. He did it once. But
the last test was a demonstration of that. Rohit Sharma could not, control anything at all. I mean, he was nowhere near the ball at all. Oh my God!
Dazed. He looked dazed. Like he looked
dazed. Yeah.
He looked like he's
come
come
back
back from a vacation. A Monday. Yeah.
He's just happy he became a father again. So let's just give that credit to him at least in the last test.
It was almost like you put a jet-lagged guy onto bat.
Yeah.
It's the pink ball.
He felt too fatigued.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
He could feel the weight.
It as a 1-1 equalizer on the platter. I'm not complaining at all.
Off cricket, by the way, I saw some not juicy videos, but like scandalous videos of Rohit.
Please.
Of Rohit shouting at Yashasvi because Yashasvi got late for the bus for 20 minutes and they almost had to miss their flight. So Rohit was just yelling at Yashasvi. So
thanks for the clarification.
That was some.
Yeah.
I mean, Yashasvi right now is in bad light. At least according to the Indian media right now, he's somebody who misses the bus and he's not on
really?
time.
I didn't know it was a joke.
That's been running so much here in India. Oh my God.
Yeah,
for the last 2 days at least.
Off-field stuff, like it was getting boring.
Yeah.
Like, the head Siraj debate was getting boring. We needed some masala.
Oh yeah.
I totally feel it was actually fun to watch Head Siraj. They penalized both of these guys, but I think it's all part and parcel. I mean, I think I was watching one of those podcasts from Bharat Sundaresan on the SEN network. Yeah, so he was mentioning that we are actually in the PG era of cricket, where such things get really badly reprimanded. But if it was in the Attitude Era of the late 90s, this would have been
Oh,
totally like
nice. That's a classic.
Yeah.
you see Ricky Ponting being bled on the head by Javagal Srinath or on the chin by Shoaib Akhtar, and then just asking him to go and bowl, get back to the bowling crease and things like
Yeah.
that. So,
You
Okay,
know what I
so
loved? What I loved as
And
a,
also give
test cricket fan is the hostility that the Indian team got from the Australian crowd, because the Indian team hardly gets that anywhere in the world. You go to South Africa, you go
yeah,
to
I think we've
UK,
stung them
it's a
enough.
home crowd. It's a home crowd everywhere.
I
So
think
it's really
we've
nice.
definitely earned the banter from Australia, is what I would say, because
Yeah,
we went into Australia and won the series last time around fair and square.
yeah.
So I don't really think we are up there, right? So even it's time that Bharat Army also starts mocking the Australian fans. So
yeah.
we are there. We are there.
Okay, Bami
Absolutely.
Army is too much to take.
Hmm.
Bami Army
I'm
is too much to
looking
take.
for the team. I love England.
Bharat Army is Bharat Army is wholesome.
Bharat Army is wholesome. Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen. One trivia for
Yes.
you.
Hmm.
In the 33 years, Australia has lost exactly 2 test matches at Gabba.
Yeah, we know both of them.
But there is also a very specific detail about those test matches that this test match will not follow. I
Okay.
know I'm being
Debutant
very
screwed
vague.
them over, or
Okay,
debutant screwed them over.
it has something to do with the timelines. That's your clue.
Both of
yeah,
them
I'm
were
guessing
last.
that
Last.
they generally keep Gabba towards the end in both the series. I think against the West Indies and in the
Yeah.
India, the last test
Gabba
match.
is usually,
Yeah.
Mm.
pre-Christmas, and the last 2 times we lost, it was post-Christmas, and the pitches weren't quite as fresh as our pacers would have liked. And
I
the
read this article actually. The
No,
pitches are a lot more fresher before Christmas
yeah,
than after. So yeah,
What does
I
fresh
mean,
mean?
interesting.
Are they gonna make salads out of the? I mean, grass.
It's
Why
going
does
to
it
remain
have to be?
green.
yeah, the
It's a
extra
green
green that
top.
you see.
more bounce for Bumrah and Siraj to
Yeah.
get. But on paper, like the Ahmedabad pitch, the idea is to
Yeah.
assist the home team.
So
Yeah,
okay,
definitely
let's
assisting the home
get
team.
into maybe we discuss team combos, batting order. Is Shami coming back? By the way, speaking of bowling lineup,
Haze.
No, he
Not
is
no no no
not
not
coming
for the
back.
next
It
at least.
I'm on a group chat with Shami and Hazelwood. What are you
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about?
I mean, he was
okay,
bowling yesterday in I think a match against Baroda in the Saeed Mustaq Ali Trophy, which they lost
got
by
it.
the way.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
went for
valid.
runs. So
He went
Didn't
for
have a
runs.
good
it
game.
wasn't really a good
Yeah,
Saeed Mustaq Ali trophy. And right, because of the injury and all that. So
yeah,
let's give the credit to him at least. Let him recover and come back.
yeah. Maybe for Sydney, I don't know.
Mm.
Unlikely though.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else we have? We need to talk about the momentum, but I feel like it would be a very short conversation. In all
Yeah,
honesty, Australia looks a lot more settled. I kind of have this vibe that we had similar to Australia versus Sri Lanka in the World Cup. Nothing was going right. Then you had Travis Head come in, and then Pat Cummins took a wicket. You know how that ended, don't you, Archit?
I mean,
I
we
feel
are going again. We are going in circles. I just started the conversation with those two information, and then you really have to rub it in right now. Why, Chris? Like, let's move on and accept the fact that Australia has the upper hand in terms of momentum is concerned. So, I think it's India's fight to take it to the Australian bowling actually.
yeah.
So the opening pair
I
has
think
to.
yeah,
Sorry,
agreed.
Archit. Yeah.
I think it's 60-40 India, and I give India more than more chances than somebody who just got whacked because of what we did at Gabba last time. So they would have some confidence from beating Australia at the Gabba, versus if we had never beaten Australia at the Gabba, then it would have been probably 70-30. So that
wait,
confidence will remain.
60 in favor of Australia, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
16 favor. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
At
Good
least the
year.
last times.
I would still put it like toss
Go
based.
and yeah, it's just that I think they'd like to probably replicate what happened the last time. India would look to, you know, try and see if they can steal a win over there. So
Okay, so
Well,
who's
But
back?
one thing
India
is
need
for
a
sure.
defensive. India needs a defensive rock though. I don't know
Yeah,
who's
but
going to do it.
one thing is for sure. I feel that this test match is probably the series decider,
it is.
because if India wins this, Melbourne and Sydney are probably like the easier ones. In terms of when we have our school tests and all those exams and everything, you have those easy ones towards the end. We are going to
Yeah.
momentum there. So I think India will feel like that if they win this test
Right.
match. It's probably going to be really hard for Australia to come back. And Australia, we have seen in the last 2-3 years with this team, with this set of people, if they go down 2-1, uh, I don't think they're coming back unless Poland pulls off another special at the MCG.
It's
Yeah.
like Barcelona all over again for me personally. This team does not have the. They know how to win games. They are not very good at actually coming back and winning. Oh, sorry, series. I should say. I
Series
don't.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I like about India that way is that all this momentum and all those other talk about form factor. I think India generally doesn't regard these very highly when going. They take each test match at face value and then play it for
The
that.
Pakistan playbook.
Yeah. And I was listening to Mohammad Rizwan in a presentation ceremony, yes, I think a couple of days back or something. So it was all covered with the word momentum. So I'm going to use it for. Yeah, so I think it's all good on paper, words like momentum, form, and other stuff. But I think Steve Smith might finally come good. I feel like the team batting second might actually have a slight edge, given the fact that you can score pretty freely on day 2 and 3. Day one, it's obviously going to be fresh, green grass. Batters are going to panic a little bit with the moving ball. Whoever is going to bat. So maybe they may be 50 for 3 or 4 down in quick time. So that's going to play a part. So I feel like Australia, if they win the toss, they should bowl first.
What about you?
Yeah, I think they should bowl first. Any team that wins the toss should bowl first, because they should take advantage of the situations around. So that's the most obvious thing that you could do. I think batting second would be a lot more comfortable than batting first.
Yeah.
Before we conclude, I want to go off on this tangent. Do you think tosses are becoming? It has always been. Do you feel like you win the toss, you win the match based on recent history?
No, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
no, I don't personally think so. Yeah, it's something which has been discussed since time immemorial, like many test matches
Uh,
hinging on the toss decision and things like that. But I feel like, especially in the last few years, tosses have become important. But at the same time, the match also gives these teams chances to come back. And
Okay.
that's what we were probably discussing in our previous episode with Roshan, where he said that batters are losing patience. They can't really see out the conditions and play when it really matters. So I feel like it's a bowler's era in the last 5 years, especially. But batters' skills more suited towards the shorter formats and things like that. I think, yeah, it's a separate topic up for discussion. But yeah, I feel toss is actually immaterial.
yeah. And
Uh, uh,
actually,
uh,
all these conditions away and at home, the pitches are actually engineered in such a way that it gives the advantage to the home team. So toss definitely makes a lot of difference these days. To come to think of it, actually, Arshit, you were saying something.
yeah, I was saying, what about the pitch? So a lot of grass, fresh grass. Does that mean it'll bounce more? Will it be even bounce, or the bounce will be uneven, say on the fourth or fifth day,
I
and
think it'll be an
will
even
swing.
bounce.
It'll
The
be an
carry is
even
going to
bounce.
be there. Yeah,
It's very much contrary to how Perth behaves. The western side is totally different. It's hot, arid weather and things like that. That is a conditions based pitch, weather conditions based pitch. This is
yeah,
more of east coast pitch where you will actually have that bounce and carry, and that will actually be pretty consistent.
Yeah.
From what I have seen from my viewership experience, I'm not a curator, but I can say that Brisbane is going to be consistent, even bounce pitch. Bowlers will they'll love bowling there. So especially in the first day or two. But after that, it gets a little flatter because the grass after the roller and heavy roller and all those things happen between the breaks. I think it's going to get a little flatter towards day 2 and day 3. That's when it's going to become easier to bat. It's happened a lot of times in many of the test matches. If you look at even some of the famous Ashes matches, like even that Peter Siddle birthday hat-trick match, that was the only good thing that happened in that Ashes at the Gabba. After the birthday hat-trick at the Gabba, you saw probably, I'm not sure if it was Cook and Bell partnership or Cook and Strauss. England were like 512 for 1. So or something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure of the numbers, but I could be wrong, but something like that. They didn't lose too many wickets and they were like 400, 500 cruising.
Yeah, I think if you end up batting first, the onus is on
You're
you
going to suffer, yeah.
It's on you to save the test match. If we can get through the first session, say with just 1 wicket down or something, you're really setting yourself up for a win based on both the pitch and what we have seen in the last 2 test matches. Gentlemen, I think this was a good discussion. When is the match, by the way? I think we should conclude with that.
2 sleeps to go.
Yep. 2 sleeps, okay.
Yeah,
So
like
what's
1
sleeps to go.
and a half sleep.
1 day sleep for me then. Thankfully, it has gotten better progressively as the series goes on.
Somebody put on Twitter that the next match is going to start at 5:30 a.m. My sleep cycle is already screwed. I sleep at 3:30 a.m. Please give suggestions on how to fix it. I want to wake up at 5:30.
Yeah, I think you found my burner. I should make a new one now. Right. Take care, gentlemen. Fair play. Good luck to the both of you. Hopefully, when we do this mid-game or end of the game, we are looking at a 2-1 scoreline with a dejected Varun and Archit coming in. And
you wish. We are definitely going to put the fight on. So let's look forward to India taking advantage of the previous victory. So I think India should go for it.
Whatever happens, Gabba's dad is in the Indian dressing room.
Yeah. We trust in Rishabh Pant.
And in all likelihood, this could be one of the last test matches at the Gabba. I think maybe the next Ashes. Yeah, I think the Brisbane cricket ground and Queensland cricket, they have some issues with the government. So enjoy it while it lasts.
They saw one Rishabh Pant and one Shamar Joseph and decided, no,
they're not going to play.
Trivia here.
Some contractual issues and legal issues going on between the government and Cricket Australia and the Queensland Cricket Board. So, I mean, it's going to be used for other sports, of course, but cricket, this could be one of the last test matches in the, at the Gabba. Maybe the next Ashes is also scheduled.
There is still one more coming. And, when the next Ashes is going to happen between England and it's the second test match, actually. So they're just trying to make it as fresh as possible for England to come and lose the test match. So I think they're playing mind games, man. Like Australia is always known for playing mind games.
Test cricket right now is England, Varun. I don't think it's really on the other side to win or lose games. We do that on their own. All right, take care, gentlemen. Thank you for joining.
Yes. See you guys.
Let's close.
See you.
Yep.